Backing up resources or activities in Moodle. So we've used the Add Resource button and the Add Activity button, and we've created various materials for our students to access. Now we're going to look at this clip at how we can select some of these and create a backup of these with a view to restoring them into another course on Moodle. Now, if you had a chance to look at the other clips, backing up a course and restoring a course, we looked at how we could back up a complete course in its entirety and then how we restored it again in its entirety, in this case as a new course. And this was actually the test course, Bridging Studies, we used. Okay, so now imagine, for the purpose of this presentation or demonstration, block 1 here, templates, forms and guides, that we want to actually create a backup of all of these for later restoration. Now, some people might say, well, if you're only creating a backup of these, then why can't you just select them in the Files folder, create a zip, and then save it in a zip? The difference between that and actually backing up and restoring is that when we create a backup of these, we create a backup of exactly how they are presented within the course in Moodle, in other words, within this block. And we also create a backup of the files within the Files folder. So then when we go to restore them, we will restore them exactly as they are presented here in block 1 and in this order, and they'll also be, the files will also be embedded automatically into the Files folder of the new course. And that's the difference. So let's have a look first of all at how we can back up these. So again, the process is similar to that when we backed up a full course. We go over here under Administration and we have the option Backup. Now, as we're only selecting a few documents that we want, or a few materials or activities and resources, then I'd advise you just to deselect all of them, and also deselect the user data. In this case we don't need user data, because bear in mind we're backing it up and we're going to restore it onto another course which will probably have different students and different teachers, so we're not really interested in the user data of these few materials. What's important is, of course, to remember the materials we want to select. And I remember the first one was the individual learning plan, and then we had all these dissertation modules here, and then we had all 2 questionnaires, and then the last 2 were the ethics. And those were the documents that were in block 1. And the way you present materials within a course on Moodle, they will be presented in this order, exactly as they are presented in their various blocks. Starting, of course, with the general area, and then block 1, which is what I've just selected. Okay, so we select those. We're happy to create a backup of those. We have a look at this. Users, we're not interested in the users. We're not interested in logs. We're not interested in users' files. The course files we'll keep because we are selecting these and we want the course files that go with them, so we'll keep that. Site files used in this course, we're not interested here. Site files really relate to the fact whether you have questionnaires that are linked to files, and then if some of the files you're taking out are actually linked to questionnaires, then you would have to make that a yes, select that as a yes. Role assignments, well, we don't need them, because when we embed them into a new course, there will automatically be new roles assigned to that course by default, or then they've been done by the administrator or course creator. So all we want, therefore, in this case, are just the documentations we want to back up. So we press continue. And first of all, it gives us the default backup, backup bridge and the materials. It then warns us that it doesn't contain any users or activities without user data has been switched off. That's fine. We're not really interested in the users. I mean, if you want to create a backup solely for reference later on in relation to the amount of users who use particular information and data and etc., well, then it's worth to do it. But in this case, we're not interested in that. Continue. And it will let us know, as it does here, the backup has been successful, and we will continue. And obviously by backup it means they have now created a zip. So this is the process of, if you look at many of the videos we have about how to deal with zips, this is the same process. Now we have a zip folder within the files folder of this course. We need to take it out. So we need to, again, to select the title, and we need to save it. And as I've said before, the best place to select it is our desktop for now. if you have another place to do it, then that's fair enough to save it. That's fair enough. And there you go. We have now backed up those particular materials or activities and resources from that course relating to that course and to that block, and we've saved it to our desktop. And that's how you take those particular materials out. Have a look at the clip restoring now these activities into a course to see how to do that.